Good evening, good evening. Thank you everybody for joining us. And if you have any friends that are interested and haven't popped on yet, you can share right now while we're right here in the middle of the live. Sorry for any confusion it may have caused anyone yesterday evening. Facebook encouraged me to use the event platform, and that confused a lot of people. Some people thought that we did not come on at all last night, but we did. So if by chance you missed last night, the replay will stay on my Facebook page, Barbara Gibson, Sykes, or you can also catch the replay as well in my Facebook group. And you are all, every last one of you are invited to join me in Gallery Talk with creative photographer Barbara Gibson. That is my Facebook group. And you don't have to be a photographer. All you have to do is enjoy the visual arts. It's all about visual arts. So please join me in Gallery Talk with creative photographer Barbara Gibson. And again, welcome to Kwanzaa. And my husband will start the program.
Habaragani.
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 What's the news, Habaragani?
What's the news? And the news for today, the fifth principle of the Nguzo Saba, the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Today's principle is Nia, which means purpose. To make our collective vocation the building and the developing of our community in order to restore our people back to its greatness. Nia, purpose. So we're going to do a little recap for those that, I know that to some it may be repetitive, but that's how some of us or many of us learn. You know, you have to hear it constantly over and over and over again to drive it home, And I know that sometimes, I know within our ranks sometimes that we're not taught, readily everything that we need to know to grow as individuals and to grow collectively. A lot of things have been missing. So we're trying to implement or to bring back into some of our memories and to make anew to some, what our ancestors utilized to get us to be where we are today. And some of those principles that were that's being mentioned are what's necessary for us to get from there to here. And oftentimes when you hear something new, and it's different from what you've been accustomed to hearing, you look at it kind of left-handed, and then some people look at it like, there they go again, or nuts, But these truths, I tell you, if you apply them to your everyday living and you stand strong in it, on them, that you will see change in your life. It's guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Good, strong moral principles that apply to the human race, to all of us. Because again, we are from all one seed, under one God. So what we're talking about applies, it goes beyond race, it applies to all of us. But for those of us of the black race, we're trying to, bring us back together, back to that principle of unity.
Umoja.
And that's where it starts. So thank you all for joining us. And shout out to everyone. I see your names on the screen. Tammy, Sandra's, Tiffany. If I don't call your name, it's not that you're being ignored.
Paula.
And, you said Paula. Okay, Paula. Everybody that's up here, we so appreciate. And please share while we're in this live and get others to come in on it. Because we want to share this to everyone. And by the way, I'm in the process of also uploading all of these. All 7 nights will be uploaded to a YouTube channel. And I'm going to post that in my Facebook page once I get all of the videos uploaded. So you can revisit them without having to just keep scrolling back through Facebook after, post after post and things get lost and pushed down to the bottom, I'm going to give you that YouTube channel link, and you can share that and pass that on to everyone. So again, thank you for joining us on this 5th night of Kwanzaa with the principal Nia.
We're going to come back and, do a little recap, like I said, quickly. And the first night or the first day of Kwanzaa, Habaragani, was Umoja, which means unity, to strive and maintain unity in the family,
Yep.
community, the nation, and our race.
So we're going to step into 2021 with unity in the family. Whatever the old trash that needs to be taken out, let's leave that family trash in 2020 and step into 21 united as a family.
Ashe. That means we agree, or amen. Same thing. And the first day is always December the 26th. And again, Kwanzaa is not a religious holiday, nor taking the place of, Christmas or, even though Kwanzaa has spiritual implications, its significance to us, and we'll share a little bit about that too. But the second day of Kwanzaa is December the 26th or 27th, forgive I, and it's Kuji Chagalia.
Kuji Chagalia.
And Kuji Chagalia means self-determination, to define ourselves, name ourselves, to speak for ourselves instead of being defined and spoken for by others. Kuji Chagalia.
Ashe. Cousin Joyce, I see you there. Cousin Zaina, thank you for joining.
Baragani, what am I, on the third day?
Yep, number 3.
Ujamaa. Ujamaa is collective work and responsibility to build and maintain our community together. Back to the unity again. All of them interchange, they interlock. And to make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems and to solve them together. Ujima. 4th day, Ujamaa. Cooperative economics, to build and maintain our own stores, shops, and other businesses and to profit together from them. That means if a brother opens up a shop or a store, go shop in it. If a sister or others develop opportunities to create businesses for themselves, let's, seek them out first before we go any other place. That's Ujamaa, cooperative economics.
And Ujamaa really hits home right here. I am an entrepreneur. I have a photography company, Capture Images by Barbara. And that is my Facebook page, my business Facebook page, Capture Images by Barbara. And my website, BarbaraGibsonPhotography.com. Would love your support. And many of you all have supported me for the last couple of years. So appreciated. Hey there, Mark.
Here it is, way down low, my brethren. Here it is again, today's principle, Nia, which is purpose, to make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people back to their traditional greatness. Greatness.
Exactly.
Greatness.
And that's something that really needs to be instilled and overly emphasized with our children. Greatness. So many of them, have that low self-esteem, don't see themselves with a purpose for even being here. Don't see themselves as having potential to be greater than what they already are. So let's start letting them know that they are great and they're only going to become greater.
You want me to light the candles?
You have them all up there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We were just having a quick candle discussion. Because our black candle, which is lit every night of Kwanzaa, of course, is getting kind of low. But thank you, Sister Lorraine Press. Lorraine came to the rescue right here at Hampton. So I was able to grab a local candle. But thank you to everyone else that, put out to me the websites where I can order them. I just wasn't able to get them, before the end of Kwanzaa.
First day, always the black candle, the middle candle, which represents Umoja. Next day, the first candle to the left is, to the right of, is the candle of Kujichagalea, we are light. The third day is the candle of Ujima, which is cooperative economics, collective work and responsibility. Forgive that. And Ujima, cooperative economics, and back to the green side. We light our fifth candle, which is near, purpose. And always, those of you that are elders that are online, those of you that are elders, we ask your permission to start the celebration. And I know you would more than happily say Ashe. And we have started, and I want to share just a few tidbits again about a recap, for those that have never heard, Kwanzaa presentation, have been to a Kwanzaa celebration, or have never heard the principles, or that have never, that even when you see them someplace on a postcard or on TV or someplace, you see symbols or pieces that are displayed on the table. And the first piece is the mkeka, which is represents our African tradition. And it's a straw mat that you set down on your table, and you place all your other African symbols on. The next is the kanara. The kanara is the 7-branch candle holder. And it's signifying that we all come from the same place, of being. Next is the Nguzo Saba, which are the 7 candles that represent the 7 principles. Then we have the bendera. Bendera is the red, black, and green flag that's in the back. And the red, black, and green symbolizes liberation for us as a people. Most places, in order to feel like they're significant, they always have to have a flag to represent who they be. So the black represents us as a people. The red represents our struggle and the depth of our, ancestors and, those that have struggled, for the liberation of the minds. Free your mind as well as your state of being, that have really sacrificed much so that we may be able to stay right here in this place at this moment in time. Then we have the vibunzi, which are the ears of corn that represent the children in your family and the importance of having them. And like I can't put enough emphasis on Kwanzaa being really the center and the focus of our children, who are considered to be Matunda Ya Kwanzaa, which means first fruit. They are our harvest. So we should, instill in them a greater sense of our Africanness, and their purpose of being. Today's principle, purpose of being.
And how many ears of corn did we have?
We have 3 ears of corn. Because we have 3 sons.
We had 3 ears.
Yes.
We had 3 sons.
So Wade are the gifts that children are presented with during that time. And normally it's educational stuff like books to read about not just the our history in Africa, the African Americans, the history here since we've been here. They know nothing of our story, not his story, but our story of who our people were long before they came here. So it's important for us to, have teaching moments with them in the gift giving. And some of their gifts are made by, hand. They're not going to go out and spend a whole lot of money, to embrace, the truth of living.
And you know what, just to mention the handmade gifts, like, when your kids are really, I don't know if they do it that much now, but years ago when our kids were small in school, when it was Mother's Day or a Father's Day, they would always make some kind of little gift for your parent, to bring home, whether it was out of paper mache or sometimes it would be a hand print or whatever, but those kind of handmade things. And we still have things here that our kids have made, and they're like latter 30s, mid 40s. So, we kind of held on to those things. Handmade gifts.
I have some of them framed, and people, well, where did you get that wonderful? Yeah, when my babies were babies, we put paint on their hands and put it on the canvas. My granddaughter, stick your hand in some dough, color it up and, put it in a shadow box, and to me, that's the stuff you place in museums. That's the kind of stuff they took out of the tombs in Africa, out of Egypt, Those were heartfelt things. But two, with the piece on the display as well is the kakambe, which is the unity cup. And normally, everybody, would they pour libations to honor our creator, our sustainer, our keeper, our life giver, our enabler, our empowerer. We acknowledge him in all things, and we pour libations for him. And when you pour into on the ground or into a living plant, you use wine, water, liquor, whichever, you prefer. And as you see us sharing with you Kwanzaa knowledge or talking about the display table and whatever, you don't have to do it like we do it. You can do it any way you like, as long as, you ensure that those principles are taught and given and shared and, make it applicable to our everyday living. And you acknowledge, our creator, you acknowledge our ancestors, those people that have gone on before us, that, had to endure so much, to ascertain us as a oneness of being. And even in saying that, to look at, in this culture, we've endured a lot of disappointment and setbacks, and you could ask yourself the question, well, if patience is short-lived here, what really kept our people, pressing forward? Like when Elder Maya Angelou said, and still I rise, no matter what you do to us as a people. And I think people around the world look at us too as being some of the most resilient and strongest people on the planet, because of what we had to overcome. And I think a part of how we came is because our people focused on purpose. No matter how slow things came, there's a African Haitian proverb that says, little by little, the bird builds his nest. So that means that, it may take me a while to get it, but sooner or later, I'm getting it. So that when it's time for me to, to start having, to lay the eggs and stuff, they're already set. They have a place of being. They have established that. And matter of fact, if nobody bothered, they'll come back next year, to the same nest, or do some things to refreshen it. And that's what we should do as a people. Continue to keep that focus. Even though you might not be able to see at the present, always know that there is something there. I recall when my parents used to ask my brothers and sisters when we were growing up, what do you want to be when you get to that point of stepping out and being your own being, as far as you doing for you. And as they named things, and when they came to me, I told them I didn't know. Every time I thought about my future, I saw total black. But I know that even though I couldn't see anything at that time, my mindset was always something's out there for me, and I'm going to look for it. So as parents, as adults, as people that are that have embraced other people's children, that have shared with other people and family members, we teach our children how to make a living more than we teach them how to live. You can you can choose your career. You can go to school and learn whatever and become or get into that, but you can't choose your purpose. Your purpose is given to you from the Creator, and only He, your mom and daddy, your teachers, your instructors, your loved ones, your best partners, sister girl, brother man, they can help you. Because most of the people that that you would ask, well, do you know what my purpose is? They can't tell you, because most of them don't even know their own. And I've seen people live long lives. I'm talking about getting to be in their 80s, 90s, and 100s and have accomplished great things on the planet. You could put them in a book. And when I asked them the question, you've done some great things for the masses. I don't know blacks, whites, or anybody that you would ask to do something that they wouldn't do it. But if all the things that you've accomplished in your life and that legacy that you think you've laid out, tell me right now, what did the Creator place in you to do outside of what you chose to do? And they will tell me, I don't know. And that's because we're not ever taught to really seek it, to seek the truth and purpose. Because like I shared before, when you seek truth, truth seek you. You'll get it. You'll find it. So as we continue to even struggle in this life that we live, just know that there is a purpose. There is a goal that we're going to achieve. You can see some of the elders that had discussions like this, and that's what we're supposed to do in Kwanzaa. When you sit down and talk about the day's principle, you have heart-to-heart conversation about what's real and what's going to really cause or promote change in us. We can't continue to do stuff the same way we've been doing it and think that there's going to be a different result. You're going to get the same thing. So if we want something, totally better, totally different, then we are going to have to be different. Ashe?
Ashe.
I pour to that.
All right, yes. And again, I can't overemphasize us pouring into this idea of purpose with our children. I think they talk about how the suicide rate has, increased and gotten so large, and, the number of people that are in despair and the hopelessness and all. And again, that comes right back to people not valuing themselves, because you have to value yourself first. You can't expect anyone to pour that into you. You have to value yourself. You have to see that you are a worthy individual and that there is a purpose for you being here. And I think every morning you wake up, your eyes open, you take a breath, then that lets you know there's a purpose for you. So I think it's so important that we instill that in our children. And if we instill that in our kids, it's going to be generational. They'll do the same thing. They will instill that in their kids, and coming right back to bringing us as a people back to our original greatness.
There's some things that have been instilled in us, during the course of time. And I hate the word. I understand the word, but I hate the word failure. And especially when it's focused toward children. It troubles me. It troubles my spirit. It troubles my heart when I hear people tell little children that you have failed and you can't go to the next grade. And I'm talking about children that's in kindergarten, in the first, second, third grade. I'm looking at them like, hey man, it's opposite of something being wrong with the babies, because it could be something, mental health or some other kind of PTSD statements in their life existence, and or who I'm really looking at is the teachers, and the parents. What's up with that? The babies only know what we teach them or not. We have to learn to find out what the barriers are that keep them from, receiving, to being receptors of these things that we teach them every day. I used to share with my sons, and growing up, that they would ask the question, or coaches would ask me, hey man, don't come to your children's practice because you messing us up. I'm like, what do you mean? If we're trying to teach them one thing and you sharing something else with them. I'm saying, yeah, you looking at the child and you're just focusing on the sport. I'm looking at my child. I want them to learn some life principles in what you're teaching them. So you telling them what a strike zone is, and that's good. I'm teaching them to, okay, the ball up above your head, the ball is down below your ankles. Swing at it anyway. And the coach is like, what are you doing? I said, I'm teaching them to not be afraid. Not be afraid.
Yeah.
So they become accustomed, when they swing high or swing low, every now and then they may hit the ball. But if you notice little children, when they first learn how to play hard ball, when they get in the batter's box, when that ball is humming down the pike, they don't want to get hit. And the first thing they're going to do is back out of that box. And I wanted my children to know, and the little guys that I dealt with, I wanted them to know that I don't care how hard the ball is coming, it's not going to kill you. And stick and stay in that box and swing at everything you can. So eventually, my son, the kids are laughing, saying, Brother Gibson, Shatez just struck out again. I said, yeah, but come to my house. I have more home run trophies on my mantle than your dad probably do of yours on his. Feel me? I just wanted them to become comfortable being in the box and not being afraid to what people would consider failing. We talk about Larry Doby from the Negro League baseball. We talk about Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Roger Maris. Or we mentioned Sammy Sosa, all these guys that are noted for home runs. But nobody ever talk about their strikeout rate. They struck out far more than the home runs they hit. So what that told me is that failure isn't when you don't succeed. Failure is when you never try. As long as you trying, you are working it out. And sooner or later, you're going to come to a place where you feel comfortable and compassionate about whatever it is you're supposed to be doing. And it's not always about the money. It's about being. It's about giving.
Yes.
And that's what we're looking for. So we are thankful again for you allowing us into your space, to share a word. And I hope, that somebody's getting something. I'm learning something, and I wish we had the opportunity to interchange, because I like to hear what a lot of you are thinking and feeling,
Yeah.
It's serious and it's deep, but we feel the energy, coming from you, and, we do. We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
And keep in mind that, even once this ends, you can still, put your comments in. It's going to be on my Facebook page, Barbara Gibson, Sykes. It'll be in my Gallery Talk group, Gallery Talk with creative photographer Barbara Gibson. And again, please, jump in the group, join us. If you enjoy any of the creative and visual arts, all about visual arts, please join us in the group. It is not a group for people that are photographers. That happens to be my passion and my visual art passion, but you do not have to be a photographer at all. So please, join the group. Thank everybody for, watching. And if you're just coming on, we're kind of getting close to the end. But please, the replay will last forever. As long as there's Facebook, I have it set so it does not delete. And again, at the end on January 1st, we will run through the first. That will be our last night, January the 1st. Each night it will be at 8 p.m. And so if you're just coming on now, you didn't get all of it, you'll be able to see it again on my Facebook page. And I'm going to compile all 7 of the videos onto a YouTube channel that I've just recently started. And I'm going to put that YouTube channel link in and give you more information about that right after January 1st when I get everything uploaded. And so please, again, please like this, share it. You just want it to get around and for everybody to, enjoy and get something from it. And it's something that you can kind of reflect back on and watch, throughout the coming year. So don't let it just end on January 1st. But we just thank all of you all. And again, I want to apologize if there was any confusion about last night. If you thought you missed it, you didn't actually miss it. Facebook encouraged me to do this in an event online. I didn't know that you could even do live events or do lives in the event format. So I took them up on that. I did the live in the event format. And a lot of people, did not get a chance to see it live, but it's still, in Facebook. So please go back and revisit if you missed last night. If you missed any of the nights, come back and revisit those. We just want you to get the full essence of Kwanzaa.
Ashe.
Ashe. So thank you all for watching. And we're going to close out with our pull together, our Harambe, which means pull together. So when we close out with Harambe, you hold your hand up, you make a fist, you pull down from the elbow, and as you pull down, you say Harambe. And we're going to say Harambe 7 times. On the 7th Harambe, we're going to just kind of hold it and come down slow. So is everybody ready? So wherever you're sitting, please join us. Please say Harambe, and we're going to be closing out for the evening. Harambe. 1. Harambe. 2. Harambe. 3. Harambe. 4. Harambe. 5. Harambe. 6. And number 7, Harambe. Thank you. Have a good evening. God bless you. Stay well. Wear your mask. Thank you so much for joining us.
Love you.
We all love you. Oh, where's my checker bag? Oh. Here we go. Hey, Brenda, Lorene, Jennifer, good night.
Nia Sasa.